Jnanakosha, Puranas.
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Markandeya Purana. Duties of a Grahastha. Alarka says, what are the duties of a married man by discharging which he becomes free from all kinds of bondage and attains salvation? Kindly tell me about these things. Madalasa says, O son, those people who discharge their duties as a householder by fostering all the living beings attain to the heaven automatically. All the living creatures of the world, including the deities and the dead ancestors, are dependent on their nurturing on the householder. They always look at the face of a married man for their living. In fact, the Grihastha ashrama can be compared to a cow that fosters others with her milk. All the four Vedas are present in the cow, that is Grihastha ashrama. Entire universe is reflected in this ashrama. Daily after the bath in the morning, a Grihastha must perform oblations to the deities, to the sages, Prajapati and ancestors by offering water to them. Then he should perform a yajna and offer cereals in the sacrificial fire. There are certain places in the house which are reserved for specific duty and deities and where offerings are made to them. Sacrifice to Brahma should be offered in the central part of the home, to Vishwadevas in the eastern side of the home, to Dhanavantri in the northern side and Indra again in the eastern side, to Yama in the southern side, to Varuna in the western side, and to Soma in the northern side of the home. At the threshold of the house, sacrifice should be offered to Dhata and Vidhata. One must sit facing the south while offering sacrifices to his dead ancestors. For the dogs and birds, sacrifices should be given on the ground in the morning and evening. At the arrival of a guest, a Grihastha must worship him by offering water, cereals, flowers as per his financial condition. If possible, a Grihastha should feed one or more Brahmins in order to pacify his ancestors. He should give alms to a beggar and celebrate. Without giving alms, a Grihastha must not proceed to dine. He should also feed starving and diseased people. Such kind of living definitely benefits a Grihastha. Shraddha and its rituals, regular and casual duties. Madalasa says, O son, a Grihastha has three kinds of duties, regular, casual and a combination of both. Rituals which are connected with oblations and carried out daily are called regular duties. Rituals and consecrations performed at the birth of a child are called casual duties. Early performance of Shraddha for the dead ancestors is a combination of regular and casual duties. Now listen about the casual duties. At the time of child's birth, different kinds of rituals and consecrations are carried out in the household. During the time of marriage ceremony also, many more rituals are carried out. At the time of marriage, however, performance of the Shraddha named Nandimukha is a must. During the Shraddha, the host should sit facing the north or the east and offer a loaf made of barley, flour and yogurt. Then he should circumambulate around two Brahmins and worship them. Rituals and Shraddha carried out in the household after the occurrence of any death in the household comes under the category of casual duties. During the Shraddha period, all kinds of sacred activities are forbidden. Only the use of pusha grass is permitted. Donation of pind comprising of barley flour, yogurt, honey is made for only one time to pacify the soul of the dead person. Then oblation of water with sesame seeds should be offered in the name of the dead person. This ritual should continue for a year once every month. After a year, Shraddha is organized, in which one there are 5 Brahmins are fed. Thereafter, every year during the darker phase of Ashwin month, a Shraddha should be carried out for the dead ancestors. This ritual is a combination of regular and casual duties. Sages have made provision for appeasement of dead ancestors up to the last 7 generations. Cereals which the people offer in the name of their dead ancestors pacify those souls who stay in Pisacha Yoni. Water falling on the earth at the time of wringing the clothes after one's bath pacifies those souls who have taken the form of vegetation after their death. Water falling during the bath satisfies those souls who have attained the status of deities. Cereals that fall during the lifting of pind satisfy those souls who are in lower life form. The cereals that scatter here and there and swept aside satisfy souls of those people who had died in their childhood before the accomplishment of any consecration. The waste water falling down while Brahman washes his hands after dining and pacifies all the other souls. Every month during the waning phase of the moon or on the day of Amavasya, Shraddha should be carried out. Besides it, 8th day of darker phase in the month of Paush is also good for carrying out Shraddha. If a virtuous Brahmin is available, time of solar and lunar eclipses is also good for Shraddha. The time when the sun crosses the equator during its northward and for the past 10 days is also forbidden for use in Shraddha. Soil that is infected with insects, dry, baked with fire, stinging, or collected from an unholy place should not be used. Similarly, such people who are violent, wretched, killer of Brahmins, impotent, or have fiendish characters should not be involved in the Shraddha. Cocks and pigs should also be kept away from the place of Shraddha. This is the reason why sesame seeds are scattered at the site of Shraddha secretly. The most must not see a woman in menses. It is also not necessary to feed a host of Brahmins. Instead, it is sufficient to feed only one meritorious Brahmin with complete devotion and respect. It is enough to appease the dead ancestors. Appeasement of ancestors automatically led to appeasement of the deities, planets, nakshatras, and all whose blessings can transform the living condition of the person. Auspicious days and months. Madalasa Shraddha can be performed on any day during the dark lunar phase in the Hindu month of Ashwin from the first day to the Amavasya. Performing of Shraddha on any of these days brings the following benefits. Performing Shraddha on the first day or Pratipada brings monetary gain. Shraddha performed on the second day brings prosperity. Shraddha performed on the third day blesses the performer with a boon. Performing Shraddha on the fourth day leads to the destruction of enemies. Performing Shraddha on the fifth day gives benefit from a woman. Shraddha performed on the sixth day helps a man to acquire respect in the society. Shraddha performs on the seventh day makes the performer an able leader. Shraddha performed on the eighth day enhances the intelligence. Shraddha performed on the ninth day brings the company of the attractive woman. Shraddha performed on the 10th day leads to the fulfillment of all the desires. Performing Shraddha on the 11th day helps him to attain the knowledge of Vedas. Shraddha performed on the 12th day makes the performer victorious. Shraddha performed on the 13th day leads to long life and luxuries. Shraddha performed on the 14th day and Amavasya leads to the fulfillment of the desire. Fruits of Shraddha performed during different nakshatras. nakshatra and result. Kritika, heaven abode, Rohini, progeny, Mrigashira, radiance, Ardra, bravery, Punarvasu, land, Pushya, health, Ahile, sons, Megha, family, health, Purvanga fortune, Uttara Falguni, virtues, Hasta, greatness, Chitra, beauty, personality, Swati, trade, Vishakha, progeny, desires, Anuradha, respect, Jesta, dominance, Mula, disease-free, Purvasha, popularity, Uttarasha, no sorrows, Shravanam, heaven abode, Dhanishta, wealth, Abhijit, Vedas, medicine, Shatabhija, animal wealth, Purvabhadrapada, knowledge, cattle, Uttarabhadrapadas, precious metals, Revati, horses, Ashwini, increase in life, and Bharani, prosperity. Forbidden and permitted items. Madalasa says, O son, now I will tell you the do's and don'ts of the healthy living. Stale cereals, oils, and fats stored over a prolonged period of time, items prepared from wheat and barley, and food items which is not prepared from pure ghee or milk should not be consumed. Health of turtle, porcupine, etc. is worth eating, whereas flesh of village pigs and cocks should not be consumed. Brahmin can eat flesh offered to him in a shraddha. Things like conch, stone, gold, pearl are purified simply by washing in water. Cereals either touched or washed by unwarranted people is not fit for any purpose. Flesh of animals killed by Chandala or killed for the purpose of oblations in Shraddha is also considered pure. Seed, bed, vehicle, boat, grass, rays of the sun and moon and air are naturally pure things. Touched by a woman who is in her menses, a dog, jackal, a mother who has recently given birth to a child, a Chandala carrier of the barrier is defining in nature. A person, however, can become pure once again by taking bath if touched by any of these people and animals. One should not neglect the appearance of blood and cough. Excretions and water collected after washing the feet should be thrown out of the home at once. Getting touched by the people who criticize deities and sisters, yajna, mantra, is also defiling. Sighting of the sun, however, purifies the defiled person. Duties of the woman, different male and female deities dwell at the threshold of the home. Hence, this portion of the home should be worshipped properly every day. At dawn, the threshold should not be left vacant, or it may have adverse effect on one's lineage. The whole area inside the home should be plastered with cow dung daily or washed with pure water. All these activities should be carried out by the better half of the householder. Those women who prepare food during the last quarter of the night suffer from infertility in future birth. Those women who do not sweep their home in the evening remain unmarried and are bereft of wealth in future birth. Such women also lose their wealth, lifespan, and reputation. Kicking the following things like broom, hearth, and mortar, or touching them with feet also leads to the loss of progeny and wealth. The householder should not be broken seat, board, and black blanket for sitting purpose. He should not comb his hair while facing south. Those who do not dine, perform havan, or make donations at the appropriate time Those who do not dine, perform havan, or make donations at the appropriate time are no better than yonchas. Those who shun these activities despite having wealth are worse than mice. Those who do not respect the deities, teachers, wife of the teacher, cow, Brahmin, are boycotted by the society. Naked are those who are devoid of Vedas, other religious scriptures and rituals. Such a house is really contemptible, which is boycotted by the Brahmins and where daily routines are not followed regularly. After birth or death in the family, a Brahmin becomes purified in 10 days. During this period of 10 days, he should avoid all the religious activities. In similar conditions, a Kshatriya gets purified in 12 days after a birth or death in his family, a Vaishya in 15 days, and a Shudra in 1 month. Dead body of a person should be cremated outside the boundaries of the village. His family members should offer oblation of water to pacify his soul on the first, fourth, seventh, and ninth days after the cremation. Ashes should be collected from the fourth day. In case of deaths caused by a snake bite or poisoning, family members may get purified after a day. There is no impurity in case of the death of a child, an immigrant, and the one who has renounced everything. Even their cremation is not carried out, nor oblations of water is made. If one more death occurs in the family, while the mourning period of the earlier death is still continuing, impurity of the second death lasts as long as that of the first one. Similar rules are applied to the impurity caused by the birth. Thus, abiding by these norms, the householder can easily attain the four objectives of life, that is, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha.